also in the prize cards. But here's our fist bump. Our Masters Top 4B feature match is getting started here at the TURIN Special Championships. Jose is kicking us off with this hot box deck. Now you ran us through a little bit about Dragapult. Let me run us through this hot deck real quick. Hops Trevenant is our main attacker. Horrifying Revenge for 1 energy does 30 damage plus 100 if one of your hot Pokemon was KO'd last turn. Now I wouldn't blame you for thinking that sounds rather lackluster. How has this made it to top 4? Well, viewers, let me tell you how. It has an absolute smorgasbord, an absolute cornucopia of ways to boost that damage. Hops Choice Band, bear in mind 2 of them are currently prized right now. Increases your Hops Pokemon damage is attached to by 30 and reduces the attack cost by 1 colorless. Love to see that. Snorlax with the extra helping ability boosts your Hops Pokemon damage by 30. And if that wasn't enough, Postwick, the stadium card, boosts your Hops Pokemon damage by 30. So basically, we are going to be swinging with low energy attacks and boosting those damage up with those other cards.
And then across the table, you have Dragapult that does Dragapult things and, you know, spreads damage counters. You know Dragapult at this point, though. But a great find off of the Pokegear for Jose, and it is going to be that Lily's Determination for next turn. Unfortunately for Jose, unable to find any of the Hops bags because they're both prized. So still, though, having 2 Phantops feels pretty good. Let's see if Lorenzo is going to be able to start with those golden Buddy Poffins, but instead just 1 Pokepad. So at least grab a Dreepy. There is still a Lily's Determination in the hand.
Yeah, I think it looked like I saw a lot of Pokemon, and the only other playable might be that Lily. We get a confirmation on that. So yeah, this Blaziken EX, this is interesting because in theory, Jose should have a very fine Dragapult matchup, right? Because one thing I actually forgot to mention, funnily enough, is that because Hops Trevenant EX, well, Hops Trevenant, I should say, is a psychic type.
Yeah,
it need to be like it does. It can utilize the Fairy Zone from Lily's Clefairy, so it can actually start to one-hit KO Dragapult EX. However, Lorenzo has a very good counter in that Blaziken EX. Not normally here to attack for the most part, but 320 hit points and Smolder Assault doing 200 could be useful as an attacker here.
Might actually have to lean into it. And yeah, I would say it's a pretty decent line of Torchics, Combuskin, and Blaziken. It is a 2-1-2, so 2 Torchics, sure. 1 Combuskin, and 2 Blaziken, both available. And with 1 Dreepy, Dracloak, and Budew prize, might actually be the one that you actually want to be swinging with, really, when you're really thinking about your attackers for this turn. But I can't deny that Chi-Yu with that Ground Melter. And it's why I winced a little bit the moment that Jose actually discarded his first Postwick off the Ultra Ball. Those are those necessary stadiums and tools that you need to buff the damage.
Yeah, the Chi-Yu is an interesting one. You'd love for that to actually reach into 140 damage, as we are going to see a Lily's Determination being played there to give Lorenzo a fresh hand of 8. 60 plus 60 is the teeniest bit shy of KOing a Hops Trevenant. However, with Monkey Dory getting in the mix, we could easily be reaching for KOs. And as you say, discarding those Postwick, which is a fantastic damage addition for Jose, especially while he's prized 2 copies of the Hops Choice Band as well. So that Ground Melter could be impactful. Keep an eye on that one.
Well, I can't ask for anything more off of that Lily's Determination. Get a Buddy Poffin, already have a Dreepy in hand as well. I would love to see Lorenzo lean towards the Blaziken line here too, just because you can start getting things set up. And like we talked about, prizes are looking a little bit awkward, I would say, just with 1 Dreepy, 1 Dracloak, and a Budew down. But it seems like Lorenzo going to heed the advice. Torchic coming down on the Buddy Poffin.
The only thing I want to draw attention to about leaning into this Blaziken line is that Lorenzo plays 1 Combuskin and has prized 1 rare candy. So it's going to be interesting to see how he's going to try and maneuver. That means he's going to have to try and find his other one-off rare candy to try and attack with the other Blaziken, unless he liberates the other rare candy, but it is at the top of the prizes. Traditionally, players take their prizes bottom to top. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But I think you're right. Develop the threat. This is a big attacker that can one-hit KO the Hops Trevenant and isn't weak to Psychic. And if Jose's Lily's Clefairy comes down, you can also deal with that as well.
I think the most interesting part of this whole thing, Shay, is that with Rare Candy being played in Dragapult here, Lorenzo does have opportunities to really spread the damage as quickly as he wants to here. Unfortunately, no Dusk Noir in the list, but if the Blaziken was able to soak a hit, Monkey Dory is still in the list as well. Could use a Crispin to power up Monkey Dory and send back the damage counters thanks to Adrenabrain here, but we're thinking way too many turns in ahead.
Really
here comes the next Postwick down and the Lily's Determination. So maybe Phantom's going to be attacking attacking again for 0 energy and just a Hop's Choice Band, but you have to be really mindful. 2 are in the prizes.
2 are in the prizes. So this Hop's Phantom can actually attack viewers rather well. So for 1 energy, it does 10 damage. But remember, with all the damage buff post-switch, it's actually swinging for 40 damage right now. If Snorlax was to come down, it would actually be swinging for 70. And if a Hop's Choice Band was to come down, you actually wouldn't need any energy to attach. However, it does find a telepathic energy here. So you actually start to fill the bench. Fantastic find there. Opting, well, I don't see, is that a Choice Band actually in hand?
It might have been. Poképad as well.
Can't play that though.
Oh, yeah, true. Under item lock. I know, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm already trying to calculate all this damage up, right? But still, though, under item lock. Not under energy lock, though. So we'll at least be able to get a couple more Phantops ready to go. And like we talked about, this deck does a good job of powering itself up. And that, thanks to Postwick on the field, that is going to be enough to take Budu down.
And you do flip a coin if heads. You basically become immune next turn. As we are going to see a Hop's Choice Band get developed on the bench, Hop's Phantom. So bear in mind, there's only 1 available in the deck right now. So this could be an interesting coin flip with Rare Candy in Lorenzo's deck. And it's heads, so that Hop's Phantom is currently protected. Jose takes his first prize card there with the splashing dodge here, and our top 4B match is over to Lorenzo. Is going to evolve into a Dracloak and Lily's Determination.
What could have been, Shay, with the top deck and the draw for turn being Crispin with Dragapult already in hand, but didn't want to risk using the Dracloak's Recon Directive to try and find a rare candy with 1 already prized. Sometimes your most aggressive line isn't necessarily the one that you want to see. Now, a couple of times we have seen people play the EX Blaziken, the one that can actually do some damage on the bench, but unfortunately it's not going to be in Lorenzo's list here. So now Lorenzo off of this hand here, there's an unfair stamp in hand.
Okay, that unfair. Now that is one weakness of Jose's deck. It hasn't got, you know, onboard draw power. There is no Recon Directive. There is no run errand, as it were. So the unfair stamp, you know, you have to just play the 2 cards you dealt. Could be impactful. We have seen Jose bob and weave the unfair stamp on stream before, but, you know, law of averages, at some point, those unfair stamps are going to stick.
I think at this point, I would love to see Lorenzo just get set up as possible, maybe even using that Ultra Ball in hand to grab either the Combuskin to start threatening the Blaziken, or getting the second Dracloak. But because there was a knockout taken last turn, can refresh this hand and go all the way through. Let's see what the option is going to be off the Ultra Ball here.
I'm going for Combuskin, yeah. We have to start developing that threat. I think this is a unique threat that Lorenzo has versus a lot of other Dragapult lists that has an alternate attacker that isn't weak to Psychic. Let's have a quick look at Combuskin. Any usable attacks? Double kick? No, we don't want to be risking that, that's for sure.
Well,
no, we don't want to be doing that. But let's just get towards the Blaziken. And there's that Chi Yu you mentioned. There could be another alternative attacker. And bear in mind, Blaziken has that ability, Seething Spirit, letting you attach a basic energy from your discard pile to your Pokemon once per turn. So, you know, any attacker can realistically get benched and get swinging in a turn.
Well, this Chi-Yu was mostly meant for Festival Lead, but it works in a deck like this. Just the pass on over. Pretty happy with the hand there for Lorenzo. Doesn't want to use the unfair stamp just yet.
Just get his items back. Remember, there is no Itchy Pollen now. The other Budu is currently in the prizes. So I think if you're Jose here, I think we're just going to try and get as many Trevenant down, right? Oh, they're going to go for the Snorlax, that extra helping. Your Hotspur going to do an extra 30.
Well, let's do the math, Shay. If one of these Phantops was able to get into the active with the Hop's Choice Band here and using the secret box to find Boss's orders, that was going to be the target down onto Dracloak. Okay, Boss is already in hand. That feels pretty good.
Is this going to find us just the Hop's Choice Band so you can attach to the active and do that same play with this one?
It's insane how so much of this deck is firing off with just the Phantop. It's not even evolving into the Trevenant, right? It's all of the outside pieces influencing the damage to just go higher and higher.
Honestly, yeah, you're applying pressure with a 1 energy attack on your, 60 hit point, 70 hit point basic Pokemon. Is that what we're looking for here, though? That would commit your last Hop's Choice Band until you take it out of the prizes, but Jose, if you can get, you know, carried out Combuskin, you're really forcing Lorenzo to walk into your, you know, fairy zone trap, as it were.
Well, Lorenzo does have an unfair stamp waiting
This
in
is true.
the wings for Jose, but this is not obvious to Jose just yet here. So Jose's got to do a little bit of setup here as the secret box, the A spec is being used. I remember when everyone said secret box is the best A spec, no matter which way you look at it. Everybody was playing it, and now only certain decks are actually playing it. Everyone just preferring to have the, I guess the, what am I thinking of? The way to just hand disruption. My goodness, it's been a long day.
It's been a long weekend.
Especially when, you know, you just don't know what's going to be sat in front of you at this point as a caster, right? So hand disruption is at a real big slow point now at post rotation. So it's really only been that unfair stamp, but using the Poképad to find the Snorlax, and thanks to extra helpings and even a Poképad on top of that, to just keep going, keep sifting.
Yeah, that means we can evolve, so we can do this play. We're currently sitting on an effective 100, an extra 90 damage, because you could attach the choice band, hop choice band to active. You got post wick, and you've got extra helpings. In combination with Boss's orders, Combuskin has 100 hit points. That would be a crisp, clean one-hit KO, and you flip through immunity as well. Is that what we're going to see? Yep. So there's the Hop's choice band. There's the Boss's orders. This is going to be a 1 energy, 100 damage. Do we get the immunity coin flip as well? Jose, you wouldn't, would you? Oh, I was going to say. Big turn there for Jose, though, forcing Lorenzo to jump through some hoops.
Wow. I was not expecting the Combuskin, out of all things, to actually be the desired boss target in that moment, right? I mean, I guess the Combuskin is leading to the Blaziken, which does unlock Seething Spirit, can grab the energy out of the discard pile. But luckily for Lorenzo, does have a Crispin and an Ultra Ball in hand, and the unfair stamp on top of that. Now, granted, one of the Phantops on the bench is safe from the damage counters thanks to Mist Energy, but just have to watch out for what you want to target down here.
Yeah, that would be an absolute fantastic leapfrog turn, right? Basically saying, all right, you want to move my Combuskin? Here, have this. Dragapult, Crispin, unfair stamp, hold that. Can you get out of it? There is the Crispin. There's the Ultra Ball, discarding that lovely Dawn artwork there and the Chi-Yu. Here comes the Crispin. Grab 2 basic energy from your deck of different types. Attach 1, put 1 into your hand. And yeah, this is a very strong swing turn here, Emily. Yeah, the only thing is, Shay, is that there is a Hops Trevenant technically waiting right on the bench for Jose. So ideally, Lorenzo wants to bump this post wick as quickly as possible here. And when I look at the stadium counts, there's 1 copy of Risky Ruins and 1 copy of Team Rocket's Watchtower. 5 cards for Lorenzo, 2 cards for Jose. Team Rocket's Watchtower is interesting because it's almost like a minus 60 damage, because not only does it remove the post wick of play, of course, but it also turns off the Hops Snorlax as well. So something to keep an eye on there is that stadium replacement. But the thing is, if you if there is no
last card,
what did we find?
Watchtower, the last card.
The Watchtower, wow. There it is. That feels really good if you're Lorenzo right now. Needs a bigger kind of mass of cards to really try and find this return knockout here. Well, doesn't just Lily's Clefairy get you there? With this benched Hops Trevenant, you'd swing for 130, 160 times 2. Very well so. But we've only got 2 cards in hand to work with. The confident promotion of that, though, makes me think, have we got it? What is it? A Wooloo and a Meowth. Can't use Meowth. That's a hassle, that's a hassle. Hassle. Uh-oh, here we go. Look at the top 8 cards of your deck. Put 3 in your hand. A Lily's Clefairy would be devastating. No way to find it. This would be massive here. Just making sure. And I love when players pick up the cards to read. Telepathic Energy gets you there. Telepathic Energy does get you there. There's a Lily. I could be tempted to take the boss's orders just to, stop any shenanigans. Stop trying to musical chairs me. And the thing is here too, Shay, with this Dragapult, assuming going down this turn, that's devastating. It's going to rely on Lorenzo finding Rare Candy Dragapult Crispin, which is a little too much to ask for, I think, for a deck with no Recon Directive and no Dracloak up and running just yet.
will this actually seal Jose's spot in the first game?
Could be tempted to attach this to the active. Yes, you start using corner. But here we go. Telepathic energy. Find any 2 psychic types. Now, I think I've got my maths correct here. Yeah, there we go. Lily's got Fairy, EX. We'll work it all out together, folks. Fairy Zone is now active. That means that big, bad, scary Dragapult EX is now ×2 weak to Psychic. Let's do the math together. Horrifying Revenge. 30 plus 100 if one of your hot Pokemon was KO. That's 130. Plus the 30 from the Hop's Choice Band. That's 160. 160 times by 2, Emily, equals...
320.
Hey, we got there. Come on, everybody.
I did not necessarily do too well in high school and college math, so sometimes that's actually a big accomplishment for me. But even with Team Rocket's Watchtower actually turning off Snorlax's extra helpings as well, that actually helps. My goodness. All right, here we go. 2 Dracloaks immediately coming into play. Shay, what's the line from here? Do you just protect your Dracloaks?
Well, the special red card is currently prized. You'd love to try and fire that off again. I think if you're Lorenzo, what's the highest hit point thing you can throw into the active? Well, you don't want to really use a 2 prize if you can avoid it.
I was about to say, well, you don't want to throw your Pheasantipity into play. Is it just another trying to find a way to reestablish Budu at this point and then just
that's prized as well.
Oh,
that's prized for Lorenzo.
And it's gone.
Yeah, I mean, you could try and night stretch it, perhaps. But then you just, this is a tough scenario for Lorenzo. Ideally, would not want to give up a prize card. I mean, you could... Well, I guess in theory you could Rare Candy, Blaziken, Seething Spirit, attach 200.
Yeah, I mean, all you need is that perfect, number of cards in your hand. I mean, Shay and I are big believers in anything can happen after the Mega Greninja game yesterday, where it was double Rare Candy and everything you needed here. But it's going to be the Ultra Ball for the Pheasantipity. Just needs a couple more cards. I mean, also just needs to reestablish maybe another Torchic. It's really hard to say what Lorenzo can even do. But the thing is, Shay, there's a big important part here.
We found Blaziken. Rare Candy? Is that knocking about?
I don't see a Rare Candy, Shay, but honestly, this is also really...
Oh, it's just going to be the concession. Lorenzo realizing he can't get the Blaziken, and Jose is 1 game up here in our top 4 feature match.
My goodness, what a way that this is going, Shay. And
ridiculous.
Even if Lorenzo wasn't going to attack that turn, it would have required Jose to actually go in the deck and retreat the Trevenant to hit with the Phantup again, right?
Yeah, great point.
There was no knockout taken, so Trevenant is essentially useless here. Let's check out the replay from game 1. There was a Budu still in the deck, Shay, or in the discard. I knew it.
Oh, in the discard? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, playing 2. But regardless, though, I mean, this is up to Jose, and he really held the strongest amount of control here. And even though the Dracloak was just such a big target, choosing to go after the engine of energy rather than choosing to go after the Dracloak there. And even still, Jose survives the unfair stamp.
Yeah, if that unfair stamp sticks, that could have been very different game. But Hassel coming out there to clutch it out. That's exactly why it's there. But there was the big swing turn there with the Fairy Zone. 1-hit KO with Horrifying Revenge. Very horrifying if you're Lorenzo. Was going to try and mount a comeback there, but didn't have a Rare Candy for Blaziken. So now we're shuffling up for game 2.
I got to say, Shay, this Hassel supporter, right? I feel like it was very niche for a little bit. Players actually started playing it, was it in Lost Box, I think, at one point, I want to say. But it's so interesting to go through formats and formats and formats, with Hassel being released in Twilight Masquerade now 2 years ago, right? All of a sudden, this card pool is still so massive. And speaking of card pools, I mean, Jose was able to really work around not having Hop's bag as well. So able to find the telepathic energy to get all the Phantup out of the deck, but there's a mulligan that needs to be resolved, and you're giving Hop's Toolbox more cards, more ways to set up.
Yeah, you don't want to be giving Hop's Toolbox many cards, but just shout out to Twilight Masquerade. What an incredible set. Had Teal Mask Ogerpon, had Dragapult EX as well. Has Hassel, you know. Has
Pheasantipity in it? Pecharuns EX?
Yeah, well, Pheasantipity was Shadow Fable, though.
Oh, yeah, Shadow Fable. Oh, my God, my brain.
Let's consult these prize cards, though. Nothing too bad there for Jose. No. Blaziken, Dracloak. I think you'll take those prize cards if you're both players. But here we go. Game 2. Lorenzo needs to win. This is a win or go home scenario. Has opted to let Jose go first. Doesn't want any sneaky turn 1 KOs from that splashing dodge. But it is over to Jose, who has led that Hops Wooloo and a Poképad. Now, real quick, let me just tell you about what Hop's Dubwold does. Defiant Horn ability are coming into play abilities. When you evolve into it, you can swap your opponent's active. So it's essentially boss's orders on a coming into play ability. So let's keep an eye on that one.
Same thing with a Heave Ho Catcher. If you need a more modern card it feels weird to say modern. I guess a recent card to compare it to. But looking at the hand here, no telepathic energy. Does have a Phantup in play though. But this Wooloo here usually goes alongside with the air balloon that is in the deck here. One copy of the Hops Cramorant actually is prized right now, that fickle spitting attack, but doesn't need to really necessarily come into play too much though. But luckily for Jose, is going to have a lot more choices on how he wants to kind of move around and buff and amplify his damage with these prizes.
With that Ultra Ball discarding that Lily's Determination, I really hope there's one card I couldn't quite work out in the hand. I really hope that was a Lily as well, otherwise that could be rather costly. Going to get to consult the deck here, though. Air Balloon is in the deck, of course. We know the prize cards. But another Hops Phantom coming down. But yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. Actually, and we have a Adrenabrain Monkey Dory now. We didn't actually get to mention that or see it in the last game. But, you know, if you have a Dark Energy attached, you can maneuver 3 damage counters from one of your Pokemon over to your opponents.
Looking at the hand here for Lorenzo, does at least have a Dreepy ready to go and a Torchic with an energy on it.
Nice.
The Risky Ruins as well. We haven't been able to see this quite yet from Lorenzo, and that's going to be a way to stack up this damage because Monkey Dory is already on the field here, can start sending some of these damage counters back. And the cherry on top, there is a Lily's Determination in hand as well, but still Torchic going to get that fire energy. And now I have a feeling this game, Shay, with the addition of Monkey Dory Risky Ruins, might look a little bit different. Even if this stadium gets bumped next turn, those damage counters are already looking pretty good.
Yep, there's something we didn't get to see at all in game one was Monkey Dory having its, mitts all over the game. In this game, I imagine it will. Lily's Determination, our premier supporter in format. Shuffle your hand back into your deck. Draw 8 if you have 6 prize cards remaining. If you don't, draw 6 instead. Fantastic. Into the body popping as well. More damage for Risky Ruins. Love to see that.
Will be a couple of modifiers that Jose needs in order to take a high hit point knockout of a 110 onto Monkey Dory. Might not even want to attack next turn. If he's not going to be able to reach all the way there, would probably require what? The Hops Choice Band, the Postwick, and the Snorlax to do the extra helpings there. That's an extra, what, 90 plus 10? Still needs more to get going. Might have to bench both. I don't think you even want to go for a line like that.
No. And Hop Snorlax effect doesn't actually stack. You can't apply but 2 of them.
Yeah.
That would be monstrous.
That would be crazy.
Okay, so let's have a look. We're still concluding this buddy poffin here. Reminder that Lorenzo has prized 1 Dreepy and 1 Dracloak as well. Obviously affecting what you can take here. Look at all that damage from the Risky Ruins. That's efficiency right there.
That's what I was talking about, right? This Risky Ruins, even if it goes down next turn to something like the Postwick, it is going to be Lorenzo, who does have a little bit of time to kind of move around these damage counters because they're technically not going to go anywhere. Pass of the turn back on over to Jose. Does at least have the Lily's Determination and the Hops Choice Band here. But can Jose, I was about to say, find a way to retreat this Wooloo? There's the missed energy.
Yeah, there is a road in which you can retreat the Wooloo, evolve into Hop's Dubwold, bring up whatever you want, and then splashing dodge that, which in this case could be a Torchic, perhaps. It's not an unreasonable situation to have occur.
Well, that's what Jose kind of aimed for in game number 1, Shay, where it was, you know what, you can have all the Dracloaks you want to. Well, I'm just going to take out the thing that I can't hit for weakness here. So let's see. Secret Box is massive.
Oh, and the Dubwold's in hand as well.
My goodness, what a way to go. Could use the Secret Box to establish more Hops Pokemon with the Hops bag as well. Yep,
definitely. That Secret Box. Premier ace spec in this deck. Search your deck for an item card, a tool card, supporter, and a stage. Did you get rid of the...
Yep.
Does he have a Night Stretcher in hand? Is that last card here?
It might be the Night Stretcher already in hand.
Surely, that's such a strong play. You don't want to swing into Monkey Door. You're right. Hitting for 110 is so hard. Let's have a look. We are going to discard 3 cards to do that, though. The Shaman, the Telepathic Energy, and that Hops Dubwol. And this can find you, as you said, a whole treasure trove, a whole cornucopia, you know, of cards here. When you get into the mix, you know, Hops bag, you search your deck for 2 basic Hops Pokemon. Stage them as well, of course.
Doesn't need the Snorlax at this point if Jose chooses to find the Torchic off of the Gust. If Jose chooses to Gust, still has to, you know, decide here. But Item Tool Supporter and Stadium Shea, it all feels pretty good to grab for a deck that really kind of synergizes with Secret Box extremely well, right? Most of the things that you can grab off of Secret Box actually buff your damage on this Hops Trevenant.
Yeah, I mean, the Secret Box basically reads, you know, can be as high as like an extra, what? Like 90 damage in theory. You're going to have the boss as well. I love the aggressive preemptive taking of the boss. Being like, you're not going to musical chairs me with, Budu, not today. Right, are we going to see, because he only plays one of those Dubwol, we are going to see Poképad being played here. Are we, interesting. So if we was to use Horrifying Revenge, that starts off at 30, so we actually wouldn't, oh yeah, but we know we still need to swap the actives actually, so yeah. Are we going to see this Night Stretcher?
Who knows at this point?
Let's find out. There's the evolution.
As the post-wick in hand can bump the Risky Ruins here.
Yep, going to remove the Risky Ruins. No damage in play from Jose from that. We'll consult the discard pile. So
I really want to see the Night Stretcher play, Shay.
It seems really good.
I think we are going to see it.
I say it seems rather good. That Defiance Horn. Love that. When you evolve into it, you swap your opponent's active. You know, bright look. Bloodthirsty eyes. We've seen this kind of ability be really impactful in Pokemon many a time. There's a Hops Choice Band.
It might as well be just the pass,
interesting.
Though. Getting set up for next turn, potentially.
Okay, I don't mind it. You know, in that Lorenzo, he does play Rare Candy, though. Can actually fire off an attack. But let's see how this goes. We are going to see 1 evolution into Jackalope. 1 Recon Directive currently live.
Maybe nothing too imperative for Jose to start taking advantage of either here, too, Shay, when you really think about it. I know we love our aggressive lines, right? But what is... look at the energy on the board. I mean, there's 1 energy on the Torchic. The Monkey Dory would need an energy to retreat in order to use Seething Spirit, but that's your attach for turn already. So wouldn't be able to boss's orders the Hops Trevenant and knock that out, because you can't use 2 supporters in 1 turn. So maybe Jose saying to himself, you know what, I think at least my Hops Trevenant is pretty safe on the bench. Maybe
Jose sort of placing a little bet on himself and saying, I'd rather remove a Combuskin from play instead of just a Torchic, as you rightfully say, but that does get eroded if Lorenzo was able to Rare Candy Blaziken. Then you can like attach, retreat, Seething Spirit, attack, and actually start applying pressure. Did the Lilies get you there? Here is Recon Directive.
Finds another Dracloak, though, and can keep using Recon Directive to get the party started here. Not finding the rare candies, but does find the Poképad for the final Dracloak here. Poképad, just one of our key cards in this meta and in this format. 3rd Dracloak. Do you believe, Shay, there's a rare candy in the mist?
I think Lorenzo needs to be believing. We need to see it. But do we even have... We do have Ultra Ball, actually, so we can find 1... Oh, rare candy! I think, surely. I mean, that grab was very quick, Shay, and I think you're right. I think that's the line that Lorenzo needs to go for here. Don't put down a 2-prize Pokemon that could fall victim to a Fairy Zone ability from Lily's Clefairy. Why not just start to kick with this Blaziken here? And the thing is, Seething Spirit can be used where you can attach not just to the bench, but to the active Blaziken. So all that Lorenzo needs is an energy to retreat to the Monkey Dory, then can use Seething Spirit to bring that energy up into the active and use the Smolder Salt for 200. But that Blaziken can't attack next turn. It can't, but I think this is the X factor for Lorenzo. If Lorenzo's going to win this game, I imagine we're going to be announcing Smolder Salt a good few times. This is a 320 hit point Pokemon that cannot be Fairy Zoned and sent to the discard pile. So let's see what Jose can do. I mean, sure, you can two-hit KO it very easily. And this is where, you know, had Jose done a Defiance Horn, would have prevented this. Opted not to. So now he's going to be staring down this 320 Beat Stick Blaziken. And what can he do? Now, we can definitely easily two-shot it, right? In theory, we have that on board already. We're doing 160 damage. It's not like the end of the world, but this is definitely a lot more harder for Jose to overcome versus a Dragapult EX.
Well, we're starting to also kind of see the synergy that Dragapult Blaziken has here with the Monkey Dory. I mean, that's still a lot of Pokemon with damage counters on the bench here.
Yeah.
So that benched Phantup doesn't have a mist energy onto it. So if Lorenzo wants to retreat this Blaziken because it can't attack next turn, find Crispin, can not only power up the Dragapult EX, but also can power up the Monkey Dory. So then Phantom Dive would not only take the Trevenant, but would also take the Phantup with both tools going down.
Yeah, that would be monster if you can piece that turn together. That would be devastating. It's over to Jose. Lily's determination. Only going to be for 6. Oh, no, 7. No, 8. You are right. Hasn't taken a prize card yet. Okay. Let's have a look. Ooh.
Hop's bag.
Hop's bag. What you got in the bag? It's going to be Snorlax. Fickle Spitting isn't live yet. The Hops Cramorant we'll talk about there if we get there, but that is a 1-hit. That is a 1 energy basic Pokemon that does 120 damage. However, can only do it if your opponent has 3 or 4 prize cards remaining. Here's Hops back.
No way of evolving the Phantup into the Trevenant either as well. That is a very big problem here for Jose because of that line with the Adrenabrain moving the damage over. So has to figure out a way on what. I can't even retreat this Trevenant because there's no energy on it, right? You see the happiness and the sadness of, you know, attacking with no energy is that this Trevenant's going to be stuck no matter what. Finds the Wooloo, though, off of the Night Stretcher. That might actually have to be the play, saying, you know what, I can find Gus whenever I feel like, and maybe just do 100. Oh, boy.
190.
190. Thank you, Shay.
Yeah, 190, 130 from our normal horrifying revenge. An extra 30 from the Hops Choice Band, an extra 30 because we happen to be in Postwick right now. I mean, that's a mighty big swing. That's basically the same as Blaziken gets the Smolder Assault, and suddenly Blaziken only has 110 hit points remaining. However, Monkey Dory, I should say, can maneuver that around a little bit.
Ooh.
Times 2.
There's the Crispin grab, you know, Shay. All right, I'm getting a little excited here.
Dragapult EX are knocking about as well then?
Definitely has an Ultra Ball to at least get there as well, but there's the Crispin play. So let's see what it is going to be. A Psychic and the Dark Energy, I'm hoping. Can use Smolder Salt here, but yes, Psychic and Dark, you can assume that the Psychic or the Dark, I mean, how Crispin works is that you get to automatically attach one, doesn't count for your attached turn, and then it goes back to the hand as well.
They're just asking, how do we get that much damage? Yeah.
Hey, by the way, I would love to ask Jose, how many people have picked up his card to read it across the entire weekend here? But back to the great line that Lorenzo is about to show us here, using the Crispin and then Synergist with this Blaziken EX to use Seething Spirit to get another attachment for turn onto a Dragapult here, assuming going to be using the Monkey Dory to move the 2 damage counters off of the Dragapult that will be attacking here, and that's Phantup going down too.
The only thing I want to keep an eye on, Blaziken has a 2 retreat cost, right?
No, there's 2 energy down.
Oh, yeah, of course, we attacked. Sorry, it's because they blended in together.
Yes, it's true. Those shiny cards are very hard sometimes to kind of differentiate.
Retreat. Yeah, this is scary now because you can move 3 damage counters off, I imagine, onto...
Ooh, no! Interesting.
Okay. Going after the Wooloo. Don't mind it. We know that's going to be able to essentially boss his orders mid-turn. So we can go after that. Now we can Smolder Assault the Fire Energy back onto the Dragapult. So now we can announce Phantom Dive. This is scary. I wonder... But now you open yourself up to the Clefairy play again, though, no? You
very much are, Shay. So it is a little bit scary. That Telepathic Energy doesn't block the damage counters, but more so does block the... doesn't block anything, actually. So... Phantup and Postwick still in play with the Hops Choice Band here.
Okay, so can Jose piece together that turn? However, if he was to put down Lily's Clefairy, he could very easily just try and take a 3 prize card turn with a Phantom Dive. Here, Telepathic Energy, though. This could just find us Lily's Clefairy.
Gonna have to be the play here
there
too.
We go.
But the thing is, Shay, I'm wondering if Lorenzo is already pretty set up here with both not only Dragapult already ready to go, but the Blaziken and the Monkey Dory all synergist with each other here. And you know that Lorenzo was able to take 2 Crispin off of both Recon directives last turn. And if I recall correctly, there's no hand disruption in Jose's deck at all. Not even a special red card either. So I feel like Lorenzo, while yes, will lose this Dragapult here, is it necessarily that bad? But also
still needs to find a Trevenant.
But can also
still needs to find a Trevenant. Is there one in hand? There wasn't one off that hassle.
Is there a Poképad in hand or a Night Stretcher?
As a concession, there was no Trevenant found off the hassle. We're going to a game 3 here, folks, in our top 4 match. Lorenzo evening it up. A win or go home scenario for both our players. Look at Lorenzo, as cool as ice. Here we go, advance to a game 3.
And you know Brennan is waiting in the wings with 2 flags up, cheering for Lorenzo, saying, no, Shaman, no problem. But let's take a look at this game number 2, because it was really interesting, but it's all coming down to that risky ruins. Shay, it was there for 1 turn, but it had so much impact in that 1 turn, setting up so much damage on the side of Lorenzo. And then we got to see the synergy of this deck truly be unlocked, and why players do love Dragapult Blaziken, because Crispin and using the Seething Spirit from Blaziken to keep your energy attachments always running. And with Crushing Hammer meta that we have been seeing time and time again, some players saying, you know what, you can hit your heads, that energy is coming back no matter what.
Yep, you essentially, with Seething Spirit and a Crispin, you essentially get an extra 3 energy to play with in a turn. That is downright ridiculous, and that was all she wrote there for game 2. Now, if you are Jose, you get to choose whether you're going first or second. I think Jose opted to go second in the first game. Love to try to apply that quick pressure. What do you think he's going to go for here?
Well, you know, Shay, now that you and I are both Hops Trevenant experts, we are experts in this deck. I'm sure everybody at home and everybody who's watching are now all screaming at their screens for the correct play for Hops Trevenant here. I don't know.
After all that. Oh, Torchic Rare Candy.
Still plays 4, I believe, so not too bad on the rare candies, but that is 1
rare candy, no?
Only 2?
Only 2 rare candy.
Whoop, that's not good.
Okay, but here we go. Shaman in the active. Haven't seen that. But Lorenzo is going to kick us off here. So Jose is going second for us. Hop box experts here. Going second is the way to go.
Ooh, okay, so Lorenzo forced to use an Ultra Ball here to try and get the Torchic up and running. Now, granted, the rest of the hand is pretty okay. There's a Dracloak and a Lily's Determination for next turn. And we know, well, I was about to say, we know Hop's Toolbox isn't, you know, popping off, but honestly, it can pop off turn 2 if it finds a way to retreat the Shaman out of the active here. But there's that Shaman that everyone's alluding to that I think everybody's going to be diving through their cards this weekend to make sure to bring to New Orleans next week.
Yep, so there is a world in which Jose can attack. Next turn, you attach, retreat, you attack with a Phantom, with a Hop's Choice Band. However, you would need to... Yeah, there's a few hoops to jump through there, but we are going to see the Ultra Ball discarding a Blaziken and a Dracloak. Very costly. This is Lorenzo's first time gets to consult the deck. And remember, he has prized 1 Crispin, one of his 2 copies of Crispin, I believe. 1 of his 2 copies of Torchic and 1 of his rare candy.
Yeah, going to be working with slim pickings this game here. Has to be very mindful as well, Shay. Only 2 Night Stretcher as well in the deck in terms of recovery here. No Rosa's Encouragement or anything, but it would be kind of crazy in a deck like this with, you know, 2 stage 2s, but you don't need it with Blaziken covering everything else. So really has to consider what Lorenzo wants to go for here. And I'm thinking the grab is actually going to be the Budu instead of Torchic here. Interesting play. Why do you think it's happening?
Maybe because he's discarded the Blaziken already. I think it's going to be a lot harder for me to get that into play, especially for a prize. Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah.
I was like, okay, maybe Shay knows why that happened, and then I just pass it to you, and then it does what we think probably is the correct play here.
I know he's debating it, though. It's tough. I mean, you discarded 1 Blaziken, right? So you got 1 left in deck. You've prized 1 Night Stretcher, and you prized a rare candy. So it's not the easiest Pokemon in the world to get in play, but I think even though it didn't work out for you in the last game, or in game 1, I should say, it is going to be your X Factor. It is over to Jose now. What have we got cooking? Poképad, and I saw a lot of Hop's Choice Belt, so we can get our 0 energy attack. Our dodging, what is it called? Dodging dive? Dodging something. Splashing dodge. I know I had dodge in there somewhere.
Still, though, it's all about finding the energy for Shaman as well, but does have a Lily's Determination inside of the hand, too. We see the prizes barely there, but honestly, the prizes weren't that bad when you really consider everything that this deck really wants to see. And it's those choice bands that I think, Shay, had a really big impact on Jose's gameplay so far from what we've seen on stream. So not prizing any choice bands, that actually feels a lot better. So it's up to Jose, out of these 8 cards from Lily's Determination, to at least just draw an energy. A Hops bag would also feel pretty good. Hops bag, energy, air balloon. Another all cards we want to see. Poképad. We're going to see 8 cards here if you're Jose. You'd love to start applying pressure. Here we go. This would be a huge miss. Huge. There's a telepathic at the very least. You won't get to use the extra effects. Oh, there's a mist energy, though, so now you can preserve your telepathic. Does he even want to apply this pressure, though? I was just about to say, Shay, do you even want to retreat? And I think you do. That's a silly question, apparently. And then just get it set up here. We'll have the telepathic energy for next turn, but look at Lorenzo just holding the Dreepy saying, I know what you're going to do. It is going to be Splashing dodge, immunity flip. Tails. I mean, to be fair, probably not going to get turn 2'd. No. Potentially. Phantom isn't weak to fire, is it? No, it is weak to dark. This is a big turn, Shay. It is. The unfair stamps in hand, right? Oh, yeah. Okay. You know what? No, we don't need keeping us on our toes, aren't they, Lorenzo and Jose? They really are. You know, what if they like look up at the camera and they're like, psych. But still, I mean, could find it again. That would be so crazy. Oh, that would be what? We draw into it again? That would be nuts. But it would have to be the Buddy Buddy Poffin, I think, just for more Dreepies, just to ensure some security here. Dreepies, a lot of energy, Shay. A lot of energy and a Dreepy and an Ultra Ball. So no Buddy Buddy Poffin, no Poképad. Recon Directive. We'd love to see one of those Crispin and a Monkey Dory. Yeah, supporter already been used for turn 2. So the thing is, I think Lorenzo is really going to have to consider going into something like a Budu to preserve this Torchic, because that's going to be the only one in deck that's available for him. You're right. And only one Night Stretcher as well, for now. For now. We hope. We hope. Well, players do traditionally take their prize cards bottom to top. It's not a certainty, of course, so... You can take them whichever way you want to. Take them whatever way you want, yeah. I've seen people take from the middle first. Barbarians is what we call them who do that, but okay, it is possible. Okay, what is Lorenzo cooking up here? I think debating on what to discard from... I think Ultra Ball is very costly. You don't want to be playing Ultra Ball suddenly. You'd love to just be using your Buddy Buddy Poffin and Poképad. Dreepy coming down. Is Ultra Ball even being debated now, actually, perhaps? Do keep in mind that that Shaman does not block the Phantom Dive here. So that Shaman is a very juicy Monkey Dory Risky Ruins target onto the bench there. It is going to stay there practically the entire game because there's no Scoop Up Cyclone in this deck for... Secret Box and all that stuff, and all of the ways that we kind of yoink Pokemon out of the play, aside from the Chien Pao Area 0 underdepth shenanigans, are all kind of gone, except for Scoop Up Cyclone. So it is going to have to be the Ultra Ball here. The question is for what? Will it be the Budu? Will it be... Oh, Pheasantipity still can draw cards. It's live. Flip the script. Game 3, Shay. Game 3. This is game 3 between Hops, Trevenant, and... Dragapult Blaziken to go on to fight Slowking in the finals. 3 cards. We did see a Buddy Poffin. We love that. Do we have an energy? Yeah, we do have energy. Okay. Oh, there's plenty of that in the hand, unfortunately. We need to get Torchic out of there. But then what do you offer up as your sacrificial lamb? So someone's going to get KO'd, right? Oh, I'll get Budu. Yeah, it's got to be the Budu, right? Like, Budu makes sense to me because, you know what, at least you can slow down what Jose does. I mean, Hop's bag was not used. Still, though, I mean, I feel like Jose is very used to playing with a limited board here. I mean, as long as he really has those 2 Phantoms that can really just keep attacking here, Lorenzo is just going to have to realize he's going to go down another prize card, saying, you know what, I'll cut my losses where they are. The only thing is that Pheasantipity can be a very, very juicy target for a horrifying revenge in a couple of turns, thanks to the amplification of damage, thanks to the choice band and the post wick. So I feel like lately, and I think I said this back in Los Angeles, or Los Angeles, that Pheasantipity is feeling more and more like a liability in a lot of matchups, right? But actually just going to put the Pheasantipity forward. I mean, you can't take a knockout, so might as well just have it there.
Wow, that is a play, I'll tell you that. Now we are going to get a telepathic energy, but you can sort of set it up. I mean, I guess you can monkey dory damage off it perhaps, but you're right. I don't think we're reaching to 210 without the boost of horrifying revenge, as it were. I don't see a way we're getting there. So I guess it makes sense. I mean, not really valuing the potential Budu, perhaps. I mean, you did put it into play. I wonder why you didn't want to just fire it off at the very least, but there's boss's orders on the Torchic. Jose saying, oh, you're not musical chairs and me. We didn't get the invincibility coin flip there, though, but Jose is taking 2 prize cards here. Lorenzo hasn't got energy developed. Has got a whole lot of nothing, if I'm being perfectly honest. Jose, Lorenzo, you need to get back into this game. It all starts now. It
needs to be Monkey Dory, Risky Ruins time. And that's unfortunately the wrong stadium. And I don't see a way currently, Shay, to amplify the energy in Dragapult currently right now. Does find another Dracloak, so can get things started here. But, I mean, Lorenzo needs a Crispin.
It really does. If you can hear a raucous crowd, I imagine that is a conclusion of a VGC match. Remember, they're all happening in the same venue.
It's very close to us.
Believe it or not, there aren't people cheering for that exact turn that we're looking at right now, but that's what you're hearing.
Yes, bring the Pheasantipity forward. Yes.
Recon directive. Let's go.
Imagine.
Yeah, that is what you're hearing.
It was just like at EUIC. In the front row, there was like a group of 20 kids, and every single time there was a ice cream used in seniors finals, the kids were going insane for the ice cream cone. But like we talked about, there is no energy acceleration happening right now for Lorenzo here. Might just have to accept that there's an itchy pollen, but there's at least a night stretcher being used. Has Pheasantipity flipped the script and used? It has been. So again, a free retreat saying, you know what, you can take this Pheasantipity. Here you go.
Okay, can Jose dance around it again? We do have a Hop Trevenant down now, though, which is good. Well, a possible one, I should say. This isn't going to find a boss's orders, is it?
Oh, that'd be
Jose,
so
you
mean.
wouldn't. Jose, you wouldn't, would you? Jose?
One more.
Jose. Ooh.
Finds the double, though. It could have been.
If you had the Wooloo down.
In some weird logic, he did technically find the boss's orders. You just can't play it. 3 copies of boss in this deck. This deck has a really high supporter count. When you look at it on paper, it's going to be 4 Lily's Determinations, 3 boss's orders, 4 Petrol, 2 Hassle, and a Ruffian, too, for some of those special energy decks that you'd love to see.
Yeah, I haven't really been able to see that getting used on stream, that Ruffian, but I guess when it has its time... Oh, Jose, you wouldn't... Oh, he's only gone and done it. Jose.
He's teasing you, Shay. He's teasing specifically you, Shay.
He is. He's keeping us on the edge of our seat. There it is.
Oh, no, Lorenzo with the hands.
You couldn't see it, but Lorenzo threw his hands out. Goodness gracious, I can't. He's trying his best to keep that Torchic in safe play on the bench, but Jose saying, no, you're not musical chairs and me. Bring that. Well, we might even see it get play, I should say, but I would imagine going after that Torchic again seems rather strong. There is a Trevenant Evolve on the bench.
Just do it again at this point, right?
Yeah, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
It's, you know, it does not feel good to watch your Torchic go down a couple times. Now, granted, I think the magic of Jose flipping heads 100 times over, I think, has finally gone array here. But my goodness, Lorenzo unable to get that golden combo that he had game 2 going. It's really going to come down to maybe Crispin, Monkey Dory, Risky Ruins again, but still boss's orders as well. That Hops Trevenant ready to go, Shay.
Yep, and I think it's interesting because Lorenzo really doesn't want to have to use Phantom Dive, right? We know how easily that can just get dispatched Dragapult EX, but Jose saying, nope, if you're going to attack, it's going to be with Phantom Dive, and I have the counter to that. So I imagine we are going to see that turn here. We can't really just afford to, well, okay, we're going to see another Dracloak come down. Unfair Stamp is still in the deck, of course. That deck's starting to get a little bit thin. We are going to see, what, 9 cards after Pheasantipity. This could be a good turn to use it, because we saw 2 Poké Gear get played last turn, Emily. So, you know, Jose's recovery options are looking rather slim.
Yeah, wouldn't be able to just find an easy way back into a Lily's Determination here. Does at least have the Psychic Energy to launch a Phantom Dive this turn, and does also have 2 Recon Directives and the Flip the Script, like you had mentioned, to really keep going and sifting through the deck. But the thing is, Shay, the Phantom is not the target you want. It's that Trevenant on the bench ready to go. So has to kind of prioritize, do I want to reestablish a Torchic one more time, even though I think that was the last copy of Night Stretcher in the deck for now, because it's all prized. Watchtower coming in and the Lily's Determination. We're going to start spreading some damage, Shay, this turn.
Yep, the replacement stadium into the Lilies. That will be for 8. Wow, what a prize card discrepancy this is. 6 versus 3. This is going to be the reload turn, though. I say reload turn, the comeback turn, I should say. If you're Lorenzo here, what are we know the second Night Stretcher's prize.
I think the unfair stamp was grabbed, Shay.
Yeah,
I really do
right.
think so. It might have just been the sheen on my screen, but still, I mean, Lily's Determination into a fresh 8 and 2 Recon Directives and a Flip the Script. I mean, we've seen it before that players have missed off of drawing, what, 14 cards, but not here. I would have loved to see the Monkey Dory come down as well with that Risky Ruins, but unfortunately not going to be able to find it here, as the Watchtower is going to take its place here. Still able to turn off Snorlax, but I mean, Lorenzo has to hope that this unfair stamp sticks. Now, the thing is about using unfair stamp here is that sometimes you use it and your opponent gets stamped into everything they need, and then sometimes you get unfair stamped and then you lose the game from here. So let's see what unfair stamp gives not only Lorenzo. Will Jose gonna be able to find a telepathic energy to grab that Lily's Clefairy and get some horrifying revenge on this turn?
Here we go. How is it going to pan out? This is the swing turn Lorenzo needs. Remember, this is a win or go home scenario for both our players. Lorenzo would love to become a champion. We'll need to win this game. Jose, 2 cards there off the unfair stamp. Here we go. Pokepad for the Monkey Dory. Oh, hold on a second. Do we have turn attached already, right? Yeah.
Yes, we have turn attached already. So it is just thinning the deck at this point. Pheasantipity, Flip the Script, 3 cards here. Badu is still in the active, but I think Lorenzo is forced to start taking some prize cards this turn, but wants to just sift through the deck as much as possible. And this is what makes Dragapult so strong. Not only can you take magical multi-prize knockouts, but you have your draw engine built in. And here we go, Dragapult EX hitting the top spot here, the active, taking out this Phantom. 6 damage counters to spread here, and all 6 might as well go on the Phantom, or 1. Let's see, where are we going? 1 and 5.
1 and 5.
Sure. Hey Shay, I don't know if you saw what the draws off the unfair stamp are. I'll give you a hint.
Secret box
and telepathic.
And the telepathic energy. What is going on? Jose, navigator of the spooky forest, navigating out of the unfair stamp. This is everything he needs to get a KO right in theory.
I didn't even see the first grab. That's how fast it was as well here.
Do we need a stadium? We don't even need a stadium.
Don't even need the stadium. Just need the Lily's Clefairy, and that's guaranteed by the telepathic energy here.
Wow, what a turn! Unfair stamp not sticking.
Shay, dare I say that this is kind of throwing checkmate in Lorenzo's face? Lorenzo's not going to be able to take 5 prizes before Jose takes 1.
Yeah, I mean, this is strong, right? Because we're going to see an 160 damage, horrifying revenge, times by 2 because of the fairy zone to KO that Dragapult. The only thing Lorenzo can do is start playing musical chairs again. Jose might be running out of boss's orders. We played 2 already, 1 left in the deck, and it's currently prize at the top. But there we go, the big horrifying revenge for Jose. 1 prize card away from advancing to the finals. Lorenzo didn't take the boss's orders, Jose, might I say. Keep an eye on that one. But for now, Lorenzo, what can we do?
I mean, speaking of what can we do, I mean, look at Jose's board. Has the Lily's Clefairy ready to go and another Hops Trevenant just in case Jose were to lose this active Trevenant. But it requires, of course, the Crispin to get it going. And unfortunately, you can't Monkey Dory any damage because Jose has played extremely well around finding any of these options here. But I mean, Pheasantipity flipped the script, draw 3. I mean, what do you do at this point? You can attack, right? But then there's another Hops Trevenant ready to go. Does need to at least find 1 damage modifier, but Shay, the secret box is in hand already for the Post-it or for the other Hops Choice Band.
This is looking dire. Look at how small that deck is. I mean, what can we realistically do?
I don't even know what you're really realistically looking for at this point, right?
Looking for a hope and a dream. I think realistically, that's what we're hoping for. If you're Lorenzo,
gotta go again,
play to
right?
your outs. That's all we can do is play to your outs.
Was there a boss's orders in hand? Oh no, Crispin was used for the turn, right? And that is going to be Phantom or Jet Headbutt. So not actually taking a knockout here. How many bosses are left in deck, Shay?
None. It's prized. The last one's prized for Jose. He's played 2. And the third one's prized. Interesting. Remember, I won't get the bonus damage because there wasn't a Pokemon knocked out. A very heads-up play there. Interesting.
This is actually really massive for Lorenzo right here. If Lorenzo is able to survive this turn with the Dragapult, we know that Lorenzo has Risky Ruins, Monkey Dory, and Dark Energy in hand, can find a boss's orders and move the energy from the Monkey Dory over to this Hops Trevenant here and start stacking up this damage. But it's all about surviving this one turn. What does Jose know that we don't?
I know he's playing the secret box. Postwick, are we going for a counter? Does counter doesn't get you there, right?
No,
90.
it only does 90.
Well, 90 with all your buffs. Let's do some maths again. 90 plus 30 is 140. Oh wait, it does with the extra helpers of a stadium replacement, right? Corner 90.
Yep, count it up.
Plus 30.
Yep.
So that's what, 120?
Yes, sir.
150, staging replacement Postwick with the Fairy Zone. I believe that's a KO, right? Corner for game. The horrifying Forest claims another victim. Lorenzo isn't finding his way out of those woods. Jose advances to the final.